Hi everybody, this is Dennis from the Dennis and Andy Show. I'm going to do a full review of Frontiersman issue number 1 from Image Comics. ATRICK Kindlon and Marco Ferrari put the book out. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of delve into it a little bit and give you my opinions. It starts off with the scenic view and it says, "You ever think that maybe I'm right? Not once? What part of it am I missing out on? The polluted air, the endless noise, the human clutter maybe? The human clutter. There it is. You've reached a Unabomber level misanthropy. You ever read his manifest? It's not the craziest thing I've ever... Nope, stop before you get it from the NSA. They'll never find me. Claire, give me a second here." All of a sudden, we had seen something creeping around. It said, "Did you just crash a plane?" And you see he takes out this robotic creature. It's one of the robots that was creeping around. I just don't remember the writer. The writer, robot guy. He's a robot guy, one who builds robots, or both. He's been a dead guy for some time now. So anyway, you can see that a robot guy had come after him. So he's kind of going through, who he thought. He sent hundreds after me. It probably worked out a river band where it's stuck in the past for 10 years. Maybe it's a message for you. I tried talking with one. It's called Disappointing Flesh. So anyway, you can see he basically tears it apart, puts it in a junk pile. Call you back. What now? More robo? Nope, but there's somebody in his house. So he winds up going in there. "My house, violators. You will not violate my personal space." Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm just here to, ask for help. I didn't mean to break into your place in the forest for days, but I knocked and no one was home. So you're not here to kill me? Take a seat. Mind the glass. I've got water. Not a whole lot more. What are you doing out here anyway? Well, I was looking for you, the Frontiersman. He goes, "Oh, you're a fan?" He goes, "Well, I'm a little too young to remember you back when you were... I should have hit you with the club. Not here to kill me. You don't want a selfie, so what's this about? My name's Dante. I'm here for your help, your advocacy." "Oh, I already give to a number of different environmentalists." "Well, we don't want your money." "Well, that's a first. We need you to fight." He's like, "Don't let the dramatic entrance fool you, kid. I'm a little too old to fight." It's a symbolic battle this time. We're smashing an idea, not a supervillain. So you want a mascot. Put me on shirts and make me the face of what, new recycling now? And he goes, no, more than that. And then you can see he does like a flashback. And you can see a bunch of the robot guys. He was in it. There's a buddy you assumed it's kind of like a sidekick of a superhero. He goes, "Why me? As opposed to who? The Brank, Dr. Crawpappy? You were the only one of your time to address social issues. Pappy got his doctorate. That's great. He also said this thing about destruction of the planet. What are you doing with the robot?" "Oh, home repair. Thing is full of rings, bolts, wiring. Saves me a trip to town." So he's basically stripping the robot. And he goes, "So you asked everybody else already, didn't you?" "Yeah, pretty much." So he goes, "Well, you got electricity. You're on the electrical grid." He goes, "Well, no, I spent a week, dragging up solar panels and stuff and getting it on there." And he goes, "And then they gave me a grain of this space dust, whatever they're calling it." He goes, "Wow, if they gave out more of that, it would solve the energy crisis." "Oh, you'd have to ask him. All I know is, I'm probably getting cancer from it." So he goes, "Really, why do you want me?" And he basically says, "We want you to stand with us about 180 feet above the ground." Say again? So then we cut in there and they're talking about, what's this about a hero? They said they're looking for a hero. That's all we know. I can barely hear you. I'm at a football game. Kind of goes on through that. He goes, look, we'll just get, if they get an injunction, we'll outlast them in court. That's how we do it. That's my superpower. Basically, we're going to go through and they're going to do whatever. I don't know, it looks like they're going to tear down a forest or something like that. So he goes, kid, I'm going to lead you back out. And he does. He leads them back out, shows them, they chat the entire way up. You don't think you'd change your mind? Nah, I don't think so. Well, I wish you'd reconsider. That'd be nice of you. But before I forget, how did you know where to find me? I'm not on some sort of map for heroes. I need to know if I should relocate. He goes, just take that road down. You'll be fine from there. Professor Umar suggested that I look. He's my advisor at State. He believes in the movement. Said it was worth a shot. Professor Umar, huh? And then, of course, he goes, well, I have to run into town anyway. So he winds up giving him a lift. And then he walks in. Doctor, Professor, Instructor Unicel, is that you? Out the door. Hey, is this where I register for classes? I'm lost. You trying to get me fired? You don't have tenure? Jesus, what kind of bootleg professor are you? Then they start laughing, give each other a hug. And then they find out, that Umar really was his partner back in the day. They were some sort of superheroes. He goes, what, is Fox News the only channel you get all that campus radicalism, hysteria is a myth? There's no purity test. You remember Barros? He called himself the high priest of hostility. Of course, he had the power to get normal people worked up and create mobs. Well, that's what I think he used, some kind of ray gun. It was a weird era. Nobody wanted a fair fight. Hard to blame them. You and I were a well-oiled machine. So you can see there's the Frontiersman. You can see there's the different villains. So at some point, these guys really were bona fide superheroes. But the villains were pretty soft overall. Barrow said something to me that I thought about, over the years, that the people wanted to behave this way. They just didn't, we didn't force them to do it. They allowed them to do it. Your neighborhood, friends, family, they can all turn against you. All it took was a nudge. He goes, that's why you don't do the heroic thing anymore? Because a deranged weirdo decades ago told you people are fickle? That's it? Hey, it rings true. I don't know these kids. I feel their cause, but, I'm old. Basically, he's sitting there, at work, and he goes, apparently they were a pretty good team in the old day. But he gave up superheroing for whatever the reason, and it looks like because of this philosophy. So he winds up going in and seeing Claire, which we had heard about earlier. She's, oh my God, the kids today, they can't even stack cans to sell them and stuff like that. And she knows why he's in town. Look, everyone is just doing what they can, and I'm not here to judge anyone. But with all the people all day, this place runs on fads, sad as it is to say. Sure, we got the regulars, 30 hippies shopping here since it opened, but we don't open without a New York Times piece getting everyone hot on locally sourced cruelty-free a few times a year. You're saying environmentalism is a trend for these kids? Of course, a few of them will stick with it. Most will wind up driving SUVs. Wow, and I thought I was cynical. Hey, the cause is fine. The people are probably nice. I'm just saying they're asking you to assume all the risk. That's an interesting way to look at it. So anyway, he drives back and he's thinking on it. And he's like, God damn it. You get home. Yeah, I wanted to thank you for the advice, Claire. No sweat. Everybody needs a sounding board, And he goes, yeah, that's true. So you can see he's got the robotic parts and there's climbing up the 80 feet. So it looks like he's going to do the 180-foot thing. Now, there was a little, this is an interesting story, trying to present it, but you didn't find out a whole lot. but they include something that's in the back. So I hope you guys all go turn through the whole thing. They kind of give a bio, and this one is Professor Unicell. So it's is really cool. I'm not going to really go through it, but it does talk about his origin story, and that, what his powers are, things like that, who he used to fight. It kind of reminds me of the old Marvel, the Marvel Universe books from like the role-playing game. It shows his height as Umar, he's 5'8", as small as a micrometer, as Unicell, 170 pounds as the human, and as Unicell, he's basically weightless. And it goes, Professor Unicell can reduce his mass to that of a unicellular organism. And he shrinks in size, his features become similar, though concentration, he's able to maintain humanoid shape. So anyway, he's kind of like maybe Ant-Man, but goes even smaller. So we know that he was part of this team. So you got a couple of neat little pictures that you can see of him, and that's what they show. And then there's the preview for next month. It says the dark forces have begun to gather with the aid of the new hero's destruction. So this is going to be a superhero story. This is different. Things that I look for in a book, I look for, a good writing. I look for, the storyline, if the dialogue is good, the artwork. So as we, take a look, the beginning gets us an introduction. We show that the Frontiersman has powers. He's got super strength. He can do or was able to do some pretty amazing stuff. And then it sets the tone that happened a long time ago. That he's basically been retired, and his partner went and got his PhD. They deal a lot with the environmental issues, and there are parts in here that I didn't really cover. They lay it on pretty thick, and what it was and how he kind of became cynical and gave up. It was all right. I thought the dialogue was good in terms of, was it believable dialogue? I thought the writing was solid there. I thought the artwork was good. I didn't think it was a home run, but it was solid for what they were trying to tell. I thought it was good. Overall, I thought this book was fine. The job of the issue number 1 is to really want me to dig in and find out and want to read number 2 immediately. This one kind of did it, but not quite. I am probably going to pick up the next one, issue 2, maybe issue 3. I usually like to give them through 3. This one didn't fully capture me and want me drawing in and wanting to see what happened in number 2. So I think it kind of failed there, but it's interesting enough where I wonder where it's going to go. The bio of Professor Umar was enjoyable because that tells me, at least gives me a glimpse of what they could do or used to do and maybe what this will become. So I will probably stick it out for the first few just to see if it's any good. I'm going to give this one a CGC score of a 6.0. I thought it was solid. I'm glad I picked it up, but I wanted a little more. I wanted to see a little more about, maybe their history and delve me into it. So, all in all, not a bad book, but not quite as good as I was hoping for. But it was worth picking up. So with that being said, a 6.0. You guys let me know in the comments below. What did you think? Did you really like this? I've already talked to a couple people. A couple people that I knew really enjoyed this. A couple people I know didn't like it very much at all. So I've got a feeling this is going to be one of those books that people may go one way or the other on. Make sure you smash the like and subscription button. But I really do want to hear your comments and what you guys think of this. We will talk to you all soon, and like I said, leave me your comments below.